The story of the dog and the wolf. Um, the, the wolf is wild. The wolf is, whilst independent, also works in a group, strong, it's fierce, it's intelligent. The thing with the wolf is that it still has the human spirit. It has the spirit to live free or die. You will never control a wolf. You would have to kill it. It's never going to do what you tell it. It's going to fight to keep its freedom, its wildness. It will fight to the death to stay free. It will die rather than be ruled. A dog is, of course, from a wolf. All dogs descended from wolves. Dogs were wolves. The wolf has been beaten, bred. The wolf has been destroyed, but dogs were wolves. A dog is a snivelling wretch of a creature. It actually gets pleasure from being ruled. It gets pleasure in pleasing its master. It gets pleasure in being told what to do. You know, it's a liberty hater. They disgust me. It's like being in the army. They think it's virtuous to be obedient and to live under authority. Awful creatures. A shadow of, not even a shadow, it's nothing from the wolf that they once were. But this is what's happened to the human race. The human race, before civilization, we're trained to be grateful for. Civilization is just a system of slavery. First citizen state started about 5,000 years ago. This is the beginning of slavery, beginning of civilization. Before slavery, when there was an anarchist world, a free world, when we were free, we were wolves. The human spirit would have been strong and fighting to live free or die. As it would have happened, one day the state, which is the structure of power, turns up, the people would have fought to the death to keep their freedom. It's the true battles for freedom. They call battles for democracy, which is fighting to choose who rules you. They call that freedom. But when you were living free and you fought to stay free when people come along try to tax you and rule you, these are the battles of freedom. And this is the human spirit. This is what it is to be a human. I mean, the human is a magnificent, an amazing sight, a sight that we've not seen since the beginning of civilization, the dehumanization process to remove us from who we are. It's an unnatural environment. But this is what humans are. They're wolves. Human is a wolf. But now, under 5,000 years of rule and oppression and social manipulation, social engineering, they're now dogs. which which want to be ruled. I mean, if you don't want to be ruled, you're an anarchist, aren't you? I mean, anarchy is society without rule. So a person that doesn't want to be ruled is an anarchist. There's very few of us about. So we're kind of like the wolves, but everybody else, if you're not an anarchist, you want to be ruled, that's the rest of the world. As I say, we're a tiny minority. It's safe to say the human race is now the dog. Wants to be ruled, wants to please its master, has no plan to escape, just wants to, be given its food, go for its walk and please its master, and that's its life. It has no will to try and find the wolf in itself. It's gone. The dog and the wolf, what we were and what we are. We, on behalf of the rest of the human race. And two, think of the concept of ownership, human ownership, which is the dog, isn't it? You own the whole concept of owning human life, owning any life, because you can't rule what doesn't belong to you, which is of course why the state has just through genocide done it all over the world. Certainly it's when it was an anarchist world, it's wiped out the indigenous people, the anarchist people, and made a claim of ownership on the land. It owns the land, it owns everything, which is why they rule it. They have to own it. The concept of anarchy is self-ownership, but they've made a claim on the land, so they rule the land. And this is the concept of taxation. You have to pay. I mean, they print as much money as what they want. They own the machines that print it, for goodness sake. It's just numbers on screens. But it's the principle that you are paying to confirm their ownership of the land. The fact that you own nothing. I mean, under rule, you don't own anything. I mean, your birthright, when you're technically born a free person, so land and shelter is your birthright. The homesteads and African culture, any sensible culture, your birthright is land and shelter. But this is of course stolen from you because the state owns the land and you're forced to rent it back in exchange for a lifetime of labour. So under rule you own nothing. I mean, on your property tax, council tax, what you want to call it, is rent on property. They own the land. You're renting it back. On your car registration documents, you're not the owner, or you're the registered keeper, because of course you're paying rent for the car. Now, you own nothing if you're ruled. In a free society, an anarchist society, nothing is owned. But under rule, you own nothing.